I'm in the extra practice review for Unit 4, and I'm looking at question number 17. This data is from a sample. Calculate the mean and standard deviation. We're not going to use technologies, but we will round our answer to 2 decimal places. All right. So the first thing I got to do is calculate the mean, or x bar. So remember, I add up all of my scores, and I'm going to divide them by the number of scores, which is, in this case, 4. So I do 20.6 plus 49.7 plus 17.2 plus 24.8. And again, I'm going to divide that by 4. So let's see when I add those together what I get. Okay, so 20.6 plus 49.7 plus 17.2 plus 24.8. And let me make sure I have the right values. 20.6, 49.7, 17.2, and 24.8. Okay, looks good. So when I did that, I got 112.3. I'm going to divide that value by 4. And when I do that, I got 28.075. So I'm going to round this up to 28.1 for the mean. Okay. Now I'm going to do the standard deviation. So I need to make a chart. So there are only 4 values in my chart. So kind of look out there. So I have x. X minus x bar is going to be my next one. And then I'm going to leave a lot of room for this because we're going to definitely have a decimal. So I'm going to leave some room here. And now I'm going to fill this out. So all my x values are going to be the values from the chart. So the first one is 20.6. So I take 20.6 minus the mean, which is 28.1. And I'm going to figure out what that is. So 20.6 minus 28.1. That gives me a negative 7.5, and I'm going to square it. And when I do that, I get 56.25. All right, let's do the next one. Next one is 49.7. So 49.7 minus 28.1 equals it equals 21.6. I'm going to square that. And when I do that, I get 466.56. Okay, next number is 17.2. So 17.2 minus 28.1, which is my mean, equals negative 10.9. So let's square that value. 118.81. Okay, and I have one more. 24.8. So 24.8 minus 28.1 equals negative 3.3. I'm going to square that. And I get 10.89. Okay, my next thing I need to do is I'm going to have to sum x minus x bar squared. So if I do that, I'm going to add 56.25 plus 466.56 plus 118.81 plus 10.89. So what I'm doing is I'm adding up all these values that I just found. Okay, so let's see what that is. So 56.25 plus 466.56 plus 118.81 plus 10.89. And when I do that, I get the summation of 652.51. Now, my last step is to find the standard deviation. So the formula for standard deviation says we take the square root of sigma x minus x bar squared all over n minus 1. So I'm going to plug in the values. I just found the sum of x minus x bar squared, which was 652.51, and n is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So now I have to divide those two numbers and then take the square root of that. And when I divide them, I get 217.50. Now I'm going to take the square root of that. And when I do that, I get the standard deviation equals 14.747. It said to round to 2 decimal places. So I'm looking at the 4. I'm looking behind it at 7, so I'm going to round up. So the standard deviation is going to be 14.75. Okay. All right, let's look at question number 18. Match each vocabulary word with a correct description. The range. The difference between the highest and lowest number. So this one goes with range. I'm going to use different colors. Median. Median is the middlemost score. So arrange the numbers in order and pick out the middle. So this one goes with median. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Mean. Mean is the average. Adding up all the numbers and dividing by how many there are is the mean. And finally, the mode is the number that comes up the most often, which I'll do in black. Okay, so mode is the number that comes up most frequent. Mean is add up all the scores, divide by the number of scores. The median is the middlemost number once you place the numbers in order. And the range is the difference between the highest and lowest number. Okay, all right, let's look at question 19. A sample was done, collecting the data, calculate the standard deviation to 1 decimal place. Okay, again, first steps first is we have to find the mean. So we got to sum all my x scores divided by n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N equals 5. Okay, so I'm going to sum everybody. 21 plus 2 plus 14 plus 27 plus 10. Divide that by 5. Okay, so let me add those up. 21 plus 2 plus 14 plus 27 plus 10. And that equals 74. And we're going to divide that by 5. So let me make sure I added everything right. Okay. I got 14.8. That's my mean. So that's first step. Second step is we got to make the chart. Okay, so here's my x values, and I'm going to do x minus x bar. And then I'm going to do x minus x bar quantity squared. Okay, so I'm going to need 5 rows because I have 5 values. Oops, I kind of did that one wrong. That's okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to bring this down here. Okay. So now I'm going to put on my x values, 21, 2, 14, 27, and 10. All right, so I'm going to take my first value in the first row. 21 less 14.8 equals 6.2. Now I'm going to take 6.2 and I'm going to square it. and that equals 38.44. Okay, let's do the second one, 2. 2 minus 14.8 equals negative 12.8. So I'm going to take negative 12.8 and square it. And I get 163.84. All right, 14 minus 14.8 is 0.8. So 0.8 squared equals 0.64. 27 less 14.8 equals 12.2. And 12.2 squared will give me 148.84. Okay, and then 10 minus 14.8, negative 4.8. Negative 4.8 squared will give me 23.04. Okay, so my next step is I have to add all these values that I got because I'm trying to get the sum of x minus x bar squared. So 38.44 plus 163.84 plus 0.64 plus 148.84 plus 23.04. Okay, let's add that together. Okay, I'm just making sure I plugged in everything correctly. Okay, hit enter, and the sum of x minus x bar squared is 374.8. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3. Step 4 uses standard deviation formula, which is x minus x bar squared. We have to sum that all over n minus 1. So if I plug and play, I found x minus x bar squared, the sum of that, to be 374.8. Now n is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. So I need to take 374.8 divided by 4 and figure out what that is. And when I do that, I get 93.7 underneath the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of that. And when I do that, I get 9.679. If I round to 1 decimal place, the 6 is in that place value. I look behind it to 7, which is greater than 5, so I'm going to round up. So 9.7 is the standard deviation rounded to 1 decimal place. Okay, that was question 19. Question 20 talks about percentile. In general, blank percent of the values in a data set lie at or below 64 percentile. The answer is going to be 64. 64% of the values in the data set lie at or below 64 percentile. Blank of the values in data set lie above 76. So if it's above 76, I'm going to take 100 less 76. And when I do that, I get 24. So 24% of the values lie above the 76th percentile. Calculate the 60th percentile of the data. Well, first of all, I need to know how many values there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So n equals 12. So I'm going to take 60% of 12. So I'm going to multiply 12 by 0.60. And when I do that, I get 7.2. Okay, I'm going to round up to the 8th value. So we're going to count the 8th value from smallest to largest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so my 8th value is 20.6. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'm going to pick up with question 22 next. So that's going to be the next one.